Welcome back. It's college win total time. We're going to start. Really, there's no order we're going to go in. We're just going to throw a team out there and we're going to say they're going to go over or under what Bodog's saying. We're going to start with the defending two-time national champions of college football, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is right now projected to win 11 games by the bookies. That's what they're saying the number at. I'm going over. I'm saying they're going undefeated. At worst, this team you're just gonna get a push, and nothing wrong with just getting your money back. They're not losing. Alabama's not losing 2 games. We're gonna go now. We'll stay in the SEC for a bit. We're gonna go to Arkansas. Brett Bielema, he's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten for the past several years. I think he's going to have an immediate impact on Arkansas, especially in the run game. They're going to be improved. They're set at 5.5 wins. I'm going to take the over. It might be difficult in this first win, but I have faith in Bielema. It's hard to see a Bielema team losing 7 games. So we're going to go that way. Next up, Florida. Number set at 9. We're also going to go over. I love the Will Muschamp defense. They were amazing last year. Gave up just a shade over 14 points a game. I think that continues, and I think that they'll win more than 9. Let's go to Georgia. I'm a big Aaron Murray fan. I think he's a very good quarterback. I'm not as high on Mark Richt, but I think he gets the job done. Right now the line's set at 9 games. I'm going over. It's tough, but I'm going to pick them to win 10. Move on down the SEC. We're going to go to South Carolina. The bookies have it set at 9.5. We're taking the under. I say they lose to Florida, Georgia, and Clemson. It's a tough bet to make, but I don't think that Connor Shaw can get the job done. And I believe that's every SEC team. I'll come back to any if I missed them. Let's go back to the top. Let's go to the Big 12 and the Baylor Bears. Art Briles has been excellent since he took over with the Bears. He continues to build this program upwards, and they just keep getting better. Right now the line's at 8 wins. I'm going over for plus 105. They will not lose all 4 to Texas Christian, OU, and OK State. So you have to figure they win at least 9 games. They could go as high as 11 if everything breaks right for them, but that's kind of tough to see. Next up in the Big 12, we're going to make a pit stop in Oklahoma with the Sooners, where Blake Bell, the bulldozer, was expected to win the starting job. He did not, so I think this team is just in a mess. I'm going under 9 wins. Sorry, JR, good old Jim Ross. It's going to be not the best season for you to watch. But let's go for the Sooners for JR. Now let's go to Texas Christian University. I'm going to take over on the 8 wins that the line set up. They're not losing all 5 games to Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas, and LSU. I think they're definitely going to win 1, maybe 2 of them. At worst, I see them pushing. We're moving to Texas, where I feel this team could go undefeated. The Big 12 is down. Oklahoma State, down years for both those programs. Texas Christians relying on a quarterback, just got a rehab last year. Baylor's relying on a man making his first career college start at the beginning of the season. So Texas has the definite advantage over every team in this conference, and they have the conference's best defense. Now, we're going to go across to everyone's favorite BCS Buster, the Boise State Broncos. Their line is set at 10 wins. We're going to take the over. There's no way this team loses 10 games. They will win 11, and you'll be making $1 bet for every $1 bet. It's an even line. We're going to go to the independent scene now. BYU, line set 8. I'm going under. This team will not win 9, so you might push, but they're not winning 9. Let's go now to the ACC. Florida State, last year's ACC champs. Out is EJ Manuel, James Winston. Line set at 10 wins. I'm going over. Look, they have Florida, they have Clemson. Those are the two toughest games. Even if they lose both of them, they push. You're getting your return on investment back. Let's now look at Kansas State as we continue down my list. Their line is set 8 wins. I see them going under. They lost their best offensive player in Colin Klein. They lost their best defensive player in Arthur Brown. And I just don't think that their old Bill Snyder can keep it going. Let's go now to American Athletic Conference favorite Louisville. The Cardinals could easily go undefeated. The AAC is the worst conference in football. So over 10.5 wins, I think they go 12-0 and look at a shot at the national title. Now to LSU. Did I mention them already? Well, sorry if I'm repeating myself. I think they're going under. I do not like Zach Mettenberger. So that's my feelings on LSU. Sorry, Les Miles. I'm not confident. I'm not very confident in you either. In the past few years, you can go eat grass and eat some losses. Now to the Michigan State Spartans. We're gonna focus in on Michigan for our next 2 picks, as we have the Wolverines and the Spartans, both at 8.5. I'm going over on both these teams. The big question is at quarterback for both of them. Devin Gardner makes the switch from receiver to quarterback for the Wolverines, while Andrew Maxwell has to prove himself in his second year starting that he can carry the load as the #1 quarterback for the Spartans without Le'Veon Bell. I think that Brady Hoke and Mark D'Antoni are 2 excellent coaches, and I have put my faith in both of them to put these teams in the best position to win every game that they play. Maybe not, the toughest decision will be against the battle against each other and Ohio State. Speaking of Ohio State, let's go now to the Buckeyes. Last year 12-0 in Urban Meyer's first season, but ineligible for the Big Ten title game and the BCS National Championship game, which they would have played in if they were eligible. The line is set at 11, and I'm going over because this team is not losing 2 games. I'm sorry, they will go undefeated again if Braxton Miller stays healthy. He is the best player in the Big Ten, and it's not even close on offense. Let's stay in the Big Ten now. Go to Nebraska. Line is set at 9.5. And sorry, Taylor Martinez, you've been in university for about 53 years, and you won't win 10 games. You're going under. Now let's go to last year's BCS buster, the Northern Illinois Huskies. They're going undefeated. Yes, I'm saying it right now. Yes, I know the line's only set at 9.5. I feel that Jordan Lynch will be a top 5 Heisman candidate and will lead the Huskies to another BCS bowl game. They're going undefeated. Let's head to the Pac-12, where Oregon replaces Chip Kelly. The line's set at 10.5. I'm going over. I do not think that they will. They do play their 2 toughest games in back-to-back weeks. First, UCLA, then Stanford. They are not losing both those games, and it'll be tougher the second week against Stanford. That's who beat them last year. So let's pick them to win 11 again this year. Let's move now back to the Big Ten. Penn State, Bill O'Brien's second year, replacing not Jerry Sandusky, but that's the reason why he's there. Paterno, that's who he's replacing. And their line is set at 8 wins. I'm going under. How do you expect to get the top line players you need when you can't play in the bowl games? It's hard to stay motivated for a season that long when you know there is no reward at the end of the season. Sorry, Penn State, I do not see you winning 8 games. Or even 9 to make the money. So let's take the under. Rutgers, another AAC team, formerly the Big East. Their line is set at 7 wins. They returned some of their best players from last year. I'm going over. I think they get to at least 8. They could even go higher than that. And that's winning a dollar for dollar bet. And again, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already. South Carolina, 9.5. I'm going under. I think they lose to Florida, Georgia, Clemson. I definitely said this already, so you can tell me, you can see how confident I am in that pick. Now let's move down the line to UCLA. The Bruins, led by Jim Mora and Brent Hundley, are a team I really liked. I watched a lot of UCLA football last year. I'm not sure why I watched a lot of UCLA football, but I really enjoyed what I saw. I think Brent Hundley is a very good quarterback, and I think this is a team to keep an eye on for the next few years. I think Jim Mora could turn this into a Pac-10 dynasty in the South Division. Over the win total of 7. Now let's move to crosstown rivals of UCLA, USC, the Southern California Trojans. Line is set at 9.5 wins. I'm going under. I see this team losing 3 games, and I think one of them will be to UCLA. Let's head to the Pacific Northwest. Washington, the Huskies. Line is set at 7.5. I like Steve Sarkisian. I like their quarterback Keith Price. I believe they will win at least 8 games. I think that they can do damage in the North, and they have a good out-of-conference schedule. Now to a pick that last year I would hate to make, but I am picking Wisconsin under 9 wins. I do not have confidence in Robinson now that Brett Bielema has left for Arkansas. I can't believe they let Bielema leave. He could have been their best coach in the school's history, and they let him go. That's just unacceptable for all Badger fans. And a big loss to the Big Ten. It just shows how superior the SEC is. Now, those are my picks that we're making. So comment, like, share this video, and let's hear the comments. And good, bad, or indifferent. I look forward to reading them.